Hey guys, what's going on? Alan here. You're watching the Gibson Garage YouTube channel, and today we're doing another unboxing. We haven't done one in a while, actually, but this one's going to be the abrasive blaster. Now, I almost bought that stand-up cabinet, but there just wasn't any in stock where I'm at. I'd have to go to Sacramento. But this guy was only 35 bucks right now at the time. This is like, what is it, February 21st or something, 22nd, but it's like 35 bucks, and then you pick up your choice of blasting media. I got walnut because it can still remove rust and paint, but it's hopefully won't do too much damage to aluminum, if any, and it should also have like a polishing effect. All right, so this is what you get in the kit, and it's just this super light, it's air injected plastic or whatever. It's super duper light. I grabbed the box first and I was like, what is it, empty? Is this like a fake display box? No, it's just nothing in there. You get a gun, 1/4 inch NPT. I put in one of my high flows in this instruction, and you get this hose already hooked up to it, already nice and kinked, right? And I picked up the 12 grit, so even though it's soft, it should be on the abrasive side to help get the grease and stuff out of the corners, and hopefully give it a uniform look. Hook up your air hose. Well, good, we're not leaking. Then the black hose hooks up to the bottom. Get it pushed over the barb. That should be all right. It does come with one tip. It's not the 1/8 inch, I don't think. It looks a little bigger. Allen keys on the side to replace that. All right, air works. Now we got to fill up the hopper. I should put the whole 25 thing in there. Why store it anywhere else? Okay, so we're starting to get full. I mean, we're right here, and we still got, well, that much left. All I was worried about is the maximum pressure, and it looks like it goes up to 120 psi, which is pretty much the max my air compressor puts out too. But you need at least a 1 horsepower compressor or larger that can put out at least 3.5 CFM at 50 PSI. All right, we've got sand in there. We've got an object to sand on in here. Let's see what happens. Holy shit. Okay. This literally just sprayed everywhere. Wow. Now, hold on, now it's not coming out. Okay. Well, right away, it doesn't seem like it's working. It works if I let go and pull again. Okay, so 12 grit might be too coarse for this gun, or at least for the jet nozzle that's inside. The nozzle's pretty small in there, actually. It's only like half the size of the jet nozzle, or of the tip nozzle. I think we're gonna have to drill that out. I don't know, either we go back and get the 24 grit. There's the nozzle. We try that, because yeah, that hole's not big enough for this 12 grit shell. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's some, well, let's try turning it this way. There's some casting flash in there. There's a lip. Basically, when they drilled this hole, there's like a lip left in there. It might be the problem. So I drilled it out. And there's also, now that it's drilled out to the proper diameter, this hole is drilled out to the proper diameter. There's actually like a little trough. Maybe that'll help. And I also cut the hose down about halfway too. I'm not sure if that was necessary, but it just seemed like a lot. Alright, so that fixed it. This thing is pouring out shells now. So this is just some casting flash on the inside of this piece here. Once I cleaned it out, it's working pretty good. So do check that before you cut the hose or even drill out the orifice. Let's see if we can. And I took a flat disc and ground down all the casting edges. Just want to see if I can get it all uniform now. Oh, now it's not working when I turn on the camera. Oh, dude, talk about a mess. This is nuts. I mean, it's working now, but Jiminy. Wow, dude. Okay, so just that short amount of time, I've got this stuff everywhere. In my garage. Oh my goodness. Oh look, it's all over my heads. Ah. All over this table. Dude, this stuff is flying everywhere. Definitely gonna want a blast cabinet. Or to set up some makeshift blast cabinet. I'd close my door a little bit here. This stuff hurts. It's shooting back at my hands. That hurts a lot. I'm gonna put on some gloves. But I think I'm gonna focus on these. It's like going up my sleeves and stuff. Jesus. Ow, dude, that does hurt. Blasting my hands, man, that hurts. That hurts too much. Yeah, we're gonna need gloves, but really, it's just going all over the place. And that's a huge waste. I need to get a container to a blast cabinet to do it in. Okay, I drove to Sac. You can see it's dark now. I had to get one. I had to get it. Let's see what's inside. Thought I'd bring you in and show you through the details here. We got the switch box. There it is. And then the metal cover for it. Some tape. More pipe thread. I don't know what that is yet. I don't know what that is yet. We got the hose. Got a piece of steel pipe attached to it. Hollow double wall pipe or something. Or it's a pipe slid over a pipe. You got your nuts and bolts, a couple different tips. And then all your metal pieces. Some legs, some walls, some doors, rubber gloves, and a plug-in. It's even got a light. It's that light sitting over there that's gonna clamp in right there where I just put those brackets in. Looks like there's 4 tips because there's one in the gun. So there it is, it's all together. And I was setting it up to try to do my first little test run. Got the air hooked up, got the stuff inside there. I just dumped what was left over in the bag, and I go to use it and nothing's coming out. No product. The product is getting, the shells are getting all the way up to here. You can see it fill up the hose instantly. That, there's suction. But the size of the hole in there, it's just like the other one. It's too tiny, and I think it's full of like casting flash. It didn't get drilled all the way through. And you got this giant hose and this tiny little hole, and the BBs or the shells can't come through. So I'm gonna have to unscrew this and drill that out just like I did the little one over there. So look at that. The hole is almost completely closed off. So I'm gonna drill all that out, make it just as wide as it looks like it should be. Looks like it should be just as big as this whole thing. So, see if it works after that. Much better. And that was so thin, actually. I almost could have just poked it out with a screwdriver or something. Let's see if it does any better this time. Hook up the air. Slip my little fingers in here. Oh, I should have turned that one a little more to the inside. Okay, come on, baby. The nozzle on the inside of the gun, this cone shape here in the center, is too close to, you know, the inside of that opening. So it won't let, there's just not enough clearance. But I know the other gun works, at least with the other machine. I know I didn't have a problem with flow. It was just, it was doing more sandblasting on me, I think. This is just walnut shells. But those walnut shells weren't doing a whole lot of anything other than lightly cleaning, really. It does smell good though. Yeah, it was hard to notice anything really as you were going over the surfaces. I mean, you can tell some spots it was cleaning it off really well, but I had already degreased everything before I sandblasted it, so maybe we need to go to glass. I'm going to show you guys a little before and after here on the other piece. Let's see, like around this metal, we've got some corrosion building up, and then the white stuff, it's like, I don't know what aluminum does in it. It tries to corrode. I took a flat disc and gonna ground off all the casting lines, and the idea with the sandblaster was supposed to put a whole new texture over everything, so you couldn't tell any of that. It was supposed to look brand new out of the casting machine again. All right, here's the after. If you look around the metal here, all that corrosion's cleaned off. Even the metal looks a little nicer. I mean, it's really just cleaned, it didn't do much else. It's still kind of dusty from the stuff I gotta rinse that off. But in here, all that stuff I couldn't get with a brush and the degreaser, that's just a walnut dust. But it's clean in there now. So I think either go get some glass beads and fill this up with 50 pounds of glass beads, which I'm probably not going to do, or cover it in etching primer and paint it, which is probably what I'm going to do. Another thing I found out is my vacuum cleaner hooks right up to this thing to suck the dust out. Check this out, it works pretty good. It even inflates my gloves. Just got it pointing out that way. The size of it's working, but I noticed that it's actually running out of walnut shells. Like, because it doesn't like to all just fall down, and it is going somewhere because it's not all here anymore. And you can see, look, it's turning into a finer and finer powder. So it does disappear slowly, and you're gonna need at least a whole box in there at one time so it doesn't run dry on the siphon. Other than that, the only huge problem are these hoses are super stiff, and it really makes it hard to move this thing around because these hoses are so stiff. So I might try to find some short pieces of something else for the air hose, so that's a little more bendable. And this one really is this big guy. That's the biggest problem, the suction hose. You can find something more like that maybe. I might do that. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need something a little more satisfying, so I'm gonna see how well this 12 grit walnut shell does against this rusty piece of steel, if I can get it off. Oh man, this thing looks all corroded on there. Okay, well it did take off the orange rust, but you can tell that the black rust, if you want to call it that, is still very much there. So it's just, walnut's just not enough really to do anything other than cleaning. And also, the walnut doesn't seem to hurt your GoPro lenses or the glass that's in here. However, it does destroy the plastic covering that's on it. That thin film that you peel off, that you try not to peel off of your phone, your brand new phone, you try not to peel it off your brand new GoPro, destroys it. That stuff's just gone. It's a waste of time. Now I'm just left with a sticky tape line. And it isn't sealed up, so you might want to take some more time sealing it, because it does leave a mess still. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can hear it. It's just covered in walnut shells. So maybe, and that's with the vacuum running too still, you know, it shoots. So this gap, I could not get that gap to seal up. So I think I'd have to either add some weather stripping around everything, which I don't like that idea. I think I'm just gonna kind of elongate these holes so I can push the whole door in further. Yeah, the stock gun won't hold 12 grit walnut shell. Now without some modifications. I think the tip of that cone is too close to the inside of that cone to allow that large of stuff. Now maybe, I don't know. Yeah, there are larger orifices. So it looks like that middle one actually might be larger, and that might have solved my issue. I don't know. But I've got the other gun hooked up now, and I'm still might try to use that hose like I said earlier, but let's see. And out of 40 pounds of shell, this is what I got left. It does run dry pretty easy. And maybe I can mess around with the placement of this straw, but you're basically just trying to get that down in there into that sump area where everything's supposed to drain and collect, which, yeah, I don't know. I need to mess around with the placement, see if I can find a better spot for it that's not really in the way of me working, which is, you know, kind of an issue. You don't want it just sticking straight here, straight down the middle in your way. So you got to like put it over here to the side, and it's kind of long enough, but I can't tell if it's getting all the way down in there or not. So that's, I don't know if you may have noticed, but you saw me shaking it to try to get the shells back down to the bottom. And there is actually some left in there, so I forgot about that. So I actually didn't lose much. It just all likes to build up on the sides, making you think you're running out. But, and I did go ahead and put on the black hose, and that lets that pipe go well below this and go right down there. Here's another example of what I did to this rusty chrome tailpipe. You can see I just made a line right through the rust. Over here on this end it looks a little better. And then right here you can see where I tried to cut through a dark rusty strip. Didn't really do a whole lot to that stuff, but there it is. Let's see what steel wool does to it. And here's 30 seconds of steel wool on that same section. You can still kind of see that line I made through it. But I mean, is it worth the time? It took me 3 minutes to do that and that compared to 30 seconds. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you've used it, if you got any questions about it, I'll try to answer it. I am gonna be using it a lot. I think I'm gonna have to break down and buy a whole bunch of glass beads, because walnut shells is just kind of a waste of time. I mean, it's good for cleaning, and maybe I can keep the walnut in here, but I can keep this one for, you know, maybe just cleaning. I'll wear a mask and gloves and everything and just do it outside, far from everything, with the walnut shells, but we'll save this one for the glass beads. But that's it. Have a good one, guys. See you in the next one.